Well, we had a very warm to hot day across much of the Northeast, and the humidity wasn't too bad either. Dew points in some places were down in the 50s, making for an actually rather comfortable afternoon. However, that is going to change tomorrow as the humidity levels come up. We've got typical August weather going on across much of the United States, taking us through the weekend. We'll talk to you about that, the tropics, the long range, and whatever else comes to mind. All that and more tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. Here I am. Okay. And the Joe and Joe Weather Show is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the telephone number. And they've got everything you need. If we ever do see a name storm, well, you know what? Just make sure that you got a working generator and a sump pump or anything else that you need to keep you safe. And then think about the fact that your yard is probably in ruins because of the drought. Well, you can freshen it up this fall with some mulch and topsoil and whatever else you may need. So head over to Omni at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the telephone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So Mr. Rayo should be here momentarily. It's 2 minutes late. I spent much of this morning trying to figure out what the issue is with respect to the internet connection. So here we go. I'm going to punch him in, and let's see if it holds on. And I'm only hoping and praying that it does.
Ta-da!
You're there. No.
Ta-da!
All right. I'm just trying to monitor here. I can already see it's a problem, as I don't know what's happened this week that's changed things. That suddenly, the internet signal just decides to die at 7:30. But it was fine up until then. I had it up for an hour, and well, it is what it is. So welcome to tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show. I'm going to try something here. Meanwhile, Joe, you could, while I'm fooling around with these technical issues, you can perhaps opine on the fact that the dew points today weren't really all that high and that it was actually a fairly decent weather day.
But it was a hot day. Up here at Rancho Rayo, we got to 94 degrees at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And yeah, I agree with you, Dennis. There it is, the circle of doom. Anyway, yeah, it was a hot one out there this afternoon. And fortunately, the dew points were not overly oppressive, so that it allowed it to be somewhat manageable, somewhat comfortable. And now tomorrow, we're going to be looking for a cold front that will be moving in and providing the impetus for our including the possibility by later in the day of some scattered shower or thunderstorm activity. In fact, we kind of are sitting, at least here in the Hudson Valley, on either general thunderstorm coverage or marginal risk for severe weather. And there is a slight risk of severe weather, I believe, just off to our north. So we may see a little boom boom activity during the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow, and hopefully things will get a bit better for this upcoming weekend, Joe. The last weekend of August. I'm so sorry to say.
Well, we can only hope and pray that that's the case. We are running out of time here for the month of August, and pretty soon it's next weekend's not this weekend, but next weekend is the Labor Day holiday weekend. And that is usually when they say, get ready for, when does school start? Because down here they started back already about 2+ weeks ago.
Well, here in Putnam Valley, school will begin next Thursday, September the 1st. Many schools in the vicinity are starting on September 1st. There are a few that will wait until the day after Labor Day, September the 5th or even the 6th. But for a lot of places, school will begin up here before Labor Day, believe it or not. And that never happened when you and I went to school, Joe.
No, we started We used to start right after like not the Tuesday, but the Wednesday of that week. So the Wednesday after Labor Day. But no matter, it's winding down. The seasons are moving right along, and before you know it, I could actually turn the lights on the Christmas tree again, which stands right behind me. Meanwhile, on meanwhile on the satellite, uh, the clouds are streaming from the western lakes up into the St. Lawrence Valley, and you've got clouds to our south. Looks like some high clouds have perched their way up toward about New York City. And there's some shower activity going on in parts of the Gulf states, but no shower or thunderstorm around that I can find anywhere close by.
Well, Joe, it does not look like the air is just too dry to support any kind of convection today or any kind of shower activity today. But tomorrow, again, with a weather front approaching, that will serve as the catalyst, the triggering mechanism for possible shower and thunderstorm activity later tomorrow, and at least on into early tomorrow evening.
Yes, so I got the latest radar view up, and in the Northeast anyway, other than a couple of showers in and around Syracuse and along I-81 down to Binghamton, there really isn't too much. There's even one little shower sitting over Albany. Where 87 and 90 cross actually, so east of Albany, and it's a tiny little thing. Otherwise, it's fairly quiet. You get down into North Carolina, you start to see some showers and downpours in the eastern part of the state, and then along the coast down into South Carolina and South Georgia. A couple of scattered cells in and around me. I heard some thunder a little while ago. And in the meantime, in Florida, again, looks like there's more on the western side of Florida than on the eastern side with respect to downpours and thunderstorms going on. And we have some showers and storms along the Florida Panhandle, back into parts of Louisiana, and kind of busy again in the southwest with a fair amount of showers and some flash flood warnings that are up in parts of southern Nevada and northern Arizona, northeastern Arizona, northern New Mexico. Further north, up in Montana, we've got quite a few showers and thunderstorms and some severe thunderstorm warnings that are up as well. That is where the Storm Prediction Center is indicating a little bit of risk for tonight, up in Montana, northeastern Wyoming, and in western parts of South Dakota. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet in the east. A little surprised, SPC added a slight risk for tomorrow, Joe. Middle and upper Hudson Valley, northern Connecticut, and points northward in a slight risk for severe. The marginal risk from Sandy Hook to about Scranton, north and west to about Buffalo. That's the southern edge, and the northern edge is almost, but not quite, to northern Maine. So I was a little surprised that they went with the slight risk. I thought maybe they would just leave it alone with just the marginal risk, but, shock of shocks.
Well, the temperature difference, the differential between this side of the front, where again, here locally, where I am, it's 94, and we have one of our chat board members who indicated that up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Mark Andre Moses, 68 degrees as of this hour in Montreal. So quite a difference. And that change in air masses right along that boundary line certainly will be enough to set the stage for some rather significant shower and storm activity in places across the Northeast during the afternoon and evening tomorrow.
By the way,
I just have something on my screen just popped up. The host has asked you to start your video.
Yeah, so start your video. I was testing a few things while we were speaking. So yeah, go ahead and start your video.
All right. Well, the video has been started.
You're there. You're started. You're there. You're up.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right.
All right. There was during that soliloquy there that you had me go through. There should have been no circle of death. So because I turned the videos off. And now I turn the videos back on, and I'm thinking there's probably going to be a circle of death coming up, if not already. So, just kind of,
Well, right, what I see on my screen, Joe, is a whiteout,
yeah,
just a white rectangle.
yeah, you'll come up. Just give it a moment. It will
Oh,
be,
there you go.
it will be there.
We're
Um,
back.
okay. Well, for now, but I'm going to get rid of us shortly.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I'm going to get rid of us again, and go back to just the maps. So just give me a moment here. And we'll get the WPC weather maps there. And now I can turn us off. See, now if I turn you off, I can turn you off and leave me on. And that doesn't seem to do very good. But if we turn both of us off, this is so exciting. I'm going to turn both of us off. And at that point, everything seems to work well. So there you have it. You've got our names up on the screen and not much else. All right, so let me get the maps back up. And rainfall wise, it is not looking all that promising for much rainfall here in the next 7 days. It's the perennial uh, the forever forecast of a half to 3/4 of an inch that WPC seems to always have up in the Northeast, and they have it up again from New York City up into New England. But south of southern New England down into North Carolina, it's basically a quarter of an inch or less, and then it picks up again along the southeast coast, down into Florida, along the Gulf Coast, looking at rainfall amounts of up to several inches in some places, and also in the southern and central plains, and in the middle Mississippi Valley, 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half. And with respect to flash flooding, the folks at WPC have a slight risk tonight in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern half of Mississippi, and southwestern Alabama. Marginal risk extends up into the southern Appalachians and into South Carolina. They also, for tomorrow, believe it or not, they put up a marginal risk that covers that area of slight risk of severe weather, for marginal risk for flash flooding. So maybe they're thinking that if there's an isolated severe thunderstorm, it could be one of these types of storms that pops up and produces a quick couple of inches of rain, and you get a bit of localized flooding. We saw that just the other day.
And again, we have an atmosphere that is so packed with moisture that I haven't seen the precipitable water values, but any one singular storm or any one singular cell of convection is likely to bring you, at least an inch or two, and in just, like 15, 20 minutes, if not more. So that's something that you need to be aware of if indeed any showers and storms are heading your way for later tomorrow and tomorrow night. And that would be much needed moisture. I've seen those kind of cells to my north, to my south, to my west, to my east, or whatever. I'm still waiting for something significant, more than just, a brief little hard shower, and then quickly it comes to an end. But tomorrow will be another day.
Yes, it will. That's it usually is another day. All right, so you might get that permission, to put your.
I just saw it and I clicked on it, and
Yeah. So
there you go.
all right. Well, yeah. Again, I'm doing 25 things here at once. So anyhow,
And Tom Contino pointing out on the chat board, he says, I have to wonder if it's Joe Rayo's machine that's causing all these problems.
well, I'd have been wondering that for a long time.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Excuse me. Well,
You want to try? You want to try doing this for like 2 minutes without me, and then see how that comes out, and then I'll come back on, and then everything will get screwed up again.
I just did. I just did.
Yeah. Without me?
Well, I took your video down and
Yeah.
and had the maps up and my video down too, and it's fine. And then as soon as I put your video up, the signal starts to collapse. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but this all started this week, so I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't know where the problem is. It's all wonderfully frustrating though, as you'd like
Yeah.
to say, technology. So anyhow, I was just looking at the 18Z uh, GFS today, trying to figure out, is there going to ever be a named tropical system or not? And
I
in,
can't even remember. Do you remember in August where we did not have at least a tropical system or named tropical system? Um,
I want to say 2013, but I'm not 100% sure.
Really amazing.
I want to say 2013, but I'm not 100% sure. Uh,
All right.
but every once in a while it does happen. Well, I was looking at the GFS this afternoon. Again, this big problem with all this dry air that's from the Sahara that's coming out into the open waters of the Atlantic. You had some runs are spinning things up, and then other runs not so much. And late this afternoon's run kind of went back to spinning up several systems along the way, including one in the Gulf of Mexico, which it gets down
By,
to like a
by the
950.
way, you are wrong, Hurricane Brett. 2013, we had Tropical Storm Dorian, which went from July 23rd to August 3rd,
Okay.
followed by Tropical Storm Aaron, August 15th to August 18th, followed by Tropical Storm Fernand. Fernand? Not Fernando? Well, whatever.
Fernando. I
August,
don't know.
August, August 25th to August 26th. That was a short one.
Yeah, but none of them were hurricanes, though.
They were all tropical storms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that's what it was. 2013 was the last, August without a hurricane. I saw somebody throw that year up um, somewhere. So I think that's where I got that information from, and I didn't get an opportunity to check it out. But once again, is something going to spin up or not? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. There's such a mess out in the Atlantic when it comes to all this dust. The afternoon GFS run is a little bit more bullish. The European, on the other hand, as we take a look, I'll bring up the European today, went from not showing very much on the overnight run to suddenly starting to spin things up again across the tropical Atlantic, and you know mostly on the weak side until we get into next week, and then they gets a little more bullish over time. But nothing here that really screams, uh, you know, explosive activity. It does have three systems on the map by day 10. All one in the northeastern Caribbean and two others out in the tropical Atlantic. But who knows? Like usually I could take a look at these things and at least have a fair confidence level in terms of what's going to happen in the longer range. But I'm not. I haven't been really impressed so far with some of the stuff that I've seen. So I don't see why. You know, I, I don't know what's going to get this. I don't know what's going to get it going. And quite frankly, it's probably a good thing that it doesn't get going. Maybe it's better off that we just stay with a completely and utterly subpar type of year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been quiet. Hopefully, it'll stay quiet for the remainder of the hurricane season. Although, as you look ahead, Joe, that's interesting. The GFS doing its thing again. The primary or 12Z run had something by early in the early part of September to look like a Category 3 hurricane that was south and east of Florida.
Hmm.
And on the 18Z, that almost completely disappears. So you don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 or 12 or 15 days, especially
No,
when it comes to the tropics.
no, we don't. So anyway, again, I'm playing around with this.
Now,
See,
Tom Contino says Joe Rayo, no named tropical storms in 1961 and in 1997. I presume that's in the month of August. So
Yeah, I heard those years thrown around as well. So, all right, let me just go back to let's go back to the maps. No, hang on a second here. Just bear with me. Okay, let's turn us off.
we have
And
such we have such brilliant, you know, viewers out there. Tip of the hat now to Tom Contino for bringing that up. I just take a look at 1961. He's absolutely correct. There was nothing in August of that year. I'm looking to check out 97 now. And in 1997, we had a couple in June. We had a few in July. And he's right. There was a tropical depression July 17th to July 19th. And then the next tropical cyclone of significance jumped right over August. And the next one was not until September 3rd. That was Hurricane Erika. So there you go.
there you go. So it's a fairly straightforward outlook here, folks. There really just isn't all that much going on. You know, late in the day tomorrow to tomorrow night, there may be, may look for a shower or thunderstorm with a cold front coming through. The only difference with the weekend is that the flow is going to be a bit more onshore-ish in the Northeast and down into the Mid-Atlantic states, and that'll probably keep the temperatures a bit lower, maybe only in the probably in the 80s rather than up into the lower 90s. And the same will hold probably for Sunday. Don't see much of a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm happening. And then we've got the next cold front looks like it wants to come through sometime maybe next Wednesday or late next Tuesday or next Wednesday, followed by more dry air and slightly cooler air for the second half of next week. And then it takes us into the Labor Day holiday weekend, which on this GFS run doesn't have a drop of rain until maybe late in the day on Monday, Labor Day. And that's the other thing about the dry part of this pattern, Joe, just remains just utterly unrelenting. I think that's the other standout to me about all of this is the fact that
Right.
it's just unrelenting with all the how dry it's been.
Yes, absolutely. Is it at least in this part of the country? Um, and of course, it was like that for a long time in the desert Southwest, and then all of a sudden in June it started raining or showering and thundering, and it has not stopped to this point. So you just have to be aware of that.
Correct. All right, let's see. I'm bringing the videos back up. So, okay, we're back up on the screen. And of course, as soon as I do that, the signal just absolutely collapses again. So I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with all these technical issues. All I know is that I did find out that the broadband people are supposed to be here in a couple of weeks. They're going to call me and make an appointment to come over and do my wiring. So maybe that'll fix this up. But other than that, I have no clue as to why this is happening.
I see you and I see my name, and now my name has disappeared, and here I am.
Yep, that's it. Exactly that. So you know what? Let's just
I
let's
have
go
I have a
ahead.
Real Jeopardy if you want that.
Well, the problem is, I don't know how, we're going to have to do it with the circle of death going on. I can't see the
Yeah.
chat. I took the chat board off my screen so that I'm not I'm not having a problem, so that's not causing the problem. So I can't see the chat board. So I would say let's just wait till Sunday and see what happens on Sunday because this is really
All right.
it's futile to do it. It's just futile to do it now. So sorry about this, folks. This is like I said, no one gets more frustrated than I do when it comes to this sort of stuff because I try to fix it and then ultimately I'll throw my hands up and then one day I'll wake up and it'll just fix itself and I won't have any clue as to why. So let's call it a night, and we'll be back Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So maybe between now and then, this will fix itself.
We can hope.
Yep. All right. So let me get. I got to get something up on the screen here. All right, everybody, have a great Thursday night, a great Friday, a great Saturday, and we will see you on Sunday. Nighty night, everybody.
Good night.